They've won Tonys and Oscars and Emmys and Grammys. There's no red carpet because they're home in their jammies. From Melrose Place to Broadway to Janeway and her crew. Let Seth and James bring all the stars to you.
Anywho.
They're entertaining everyone, so who's gonna grouse? Just sit right back and you'll hear some tales on Stars in the House.
Hello, everyone.
We are blurry, but it's perfect at my age. I'm Seth.
And I'm James Wesley.
This is Stars in the House. And Stars in the House began when everything shut down in March, specifically theater, but of course TV and film also did. And we knew everybody was going to be out of work and basically needing to pay their bills. So James and I said, let's do a fundraiser for the Actors Fund. Things will be shut down for a couple of weeks. Cut to
200 episodes later, we're still here, but we've passed the $500,000 mark just last week.
Yes, from donations, just from people like you.
That's right.
And we started 2 times a day. Now we're here once a day. We're always raising money for the Actors Fund. The month of June, we raise money for the NAACP, LDF. Sometimes we help, different charities. Tonight, we're for Americans for the Arts.
That's correct.
We're also streaming not only from all of our fancy Stars in the House channels, but also from Todrick Hall's channel.
Thank you, Todrick.
Because he's going to be on. So I know there are a lot of Todrick Hall fans that are like, what's happening? Todrick,
People have already written comments like, what is this?
Specifically. So Todrick is going to be on. Here we go. What are they even talking about? Literally what I just said. I don't know what's confusing about it.
We are here because Todrick Hall and everyone else on the show cares about democracy, and today is National Voter Registration Day.
Yeah.
That's what you're doing here, because democracy is at stake, and so we all have to do our part.
Yeah, so today's National Voter Registration Day. So we got a lot of celebrities together from the Broadway, from the film industry, from Todrick's just amazing recording career in Sassafras. He's going to be
music industry, including, by the way, Ben Folds, all the way in Australia.
Ben Folds 5 hours ahead. Actually, how many hours ahead? It's like
I think it's 12
hours ahead.
No,
this all began because movie star extraordinaire Annette Bening called us, and she said it's National Voter Registration Day on Tuesday. Can we do something combined with Americans for the Arts? And we said yes. And suddenly all these people are coming. By the way, Storm Reed's coming. All these great people. So we're going to be telling some fun
Hamilton
stories.
folks. We got
and a little bit of Ariana DeBose is going to be here.
Alfre Woodard, Brian Stokes Mitchell, BB Newirth. We got it. We got a lot going on. Plus, by the way, in addition to it being National Voter Registration Day, before we bring on Annette Bening, it also happens to be our daughter's 20th birthday today.
Yes, and she did this thing on Facebook. You could do on Facebook, you could say, I'm raising money for something for my birthday. So she put up, I'm raising money for the Actors Fund, and she set her goal for $200. And she literally has raised $1,200 for the Actors Fund. So bravo, Julie. And if you don't know, I'm sorry. We always raise money for the Actors Fund. Today, just the one day that we're not. But if you don't know the Actors Fund, if you're anybody in show business, no matter what you do, you could be in front of the camera, behind the camera, catering, stage managing, ballet teacher, opera. You can go to the Actors Fund, say, I cannot pay my rent. I can't pay my health insurance. I can't pay for groceries.
That's right.
Whatever you need, the Actors Fund will help you. So you go to actorsfund.org. And normally we raise money. You go to starsinthehouse.com and you donate the money.
But instead today, if you're interested in donating, if you're able to donate, you will, hold on, let's see it here. Right here, you're going to donate to americansforthearts.org/donate.
And you're going to find out why soon.
That's right. You'll find out why soon. But when you get that receipt, then you can forward it to donations@starsinthehouse.com. But hold on. This right here, before we bring on Annette Bening, Seth, is the reason, one of the big reasons why we're doing this.
Why?
This is from Yvonne. I've been trying to get my daughter to register, and she ain't done it yet. Help. That's right. So let me tell you, Todrick Hall, we got all these other people. They're going to...
Yvonne, what is her name? We will call her out. In a good way.
In a good way.
So
that's right.
And we'll have some big celebrities say, hi, Yvonne Jr., you need to register to vote.
All right.
Wait,
so
by the way.
Go. Yes, go ahead, Seth. Go ahead. And then we'll bring on Annette.
Still do not know what it is. Could not have been clearer. We do a live stream every day for charity. Today, we're for Americans for the Arts with celebrities telling you to register to vote, why it's important to register to vote. Now, by the way, I'm just going to make this banner just so people don't go into a panic. So here we go. Create banner.
By the way, it's me, Seth, and David Katz. We have the whole talk show here, and it's literally the three of us.
And just so every 5 minutes, I'm going to be posting this for anyone going to a panic saying, but where is Todrick? So he is coming. But until then, why don't we start with the movie star, one of my favorites. Am I correct?
That's correct, Seth. Let's bring on 1, 2, 3, Annette Bening.
Yay!
Hi, guys.
Hi, Annette.
Call your mother.
I just happened to grab that mug.
Uh-huh.
Hi, guys.
Can you tell us, we're asking people to donate for Americans for the Arts, but I'd love to know what specifically they do. I just know about them, and I know they kind of are involved with social justice, but I don't exactly know what.
They are the leading arts advocacy. It's a nonprofit, and they're the leading arts advocacy organization in the country. And the Arts Action Fund is their basically grassroots army of people. There's like 430,000 members. By the way, anybody that's listening, you can become a member. You just go on their website of the Arts Action Fund. It's free. And it makes you feel really good because you're part of this organization that really cares about the arts and arts education. And they are the organization that created Arts Vote, which is what we're about tonight. And they have a great website. You can go on the website with any specific questions you have about where you live, what the specific needs are, about how you register, when you have to register by, if you want to request an absentee ballot or vote by mail. They have all the information on this site. It's fantastic. I've joined. It's very easy.
It's scrolling right there at the bottom. It'll be scrolling the entire show, artsactionfund.org/artsvote.
But Annette, tell me, a lot of people would say, what does voting have to do with the arts?
Well, I mean, listen, there's a lot at stake. I mean, we first of all, as you guys know, the artists in this country are really suffering right now. We have 60% unemployment. We have incredible financial hardship, businesses going under, and people not able to support themselves. So of course that has all to do with who are our elected officials, and do they support us? Do they work on the next COVID relief package? Or because of course that's what we all need. I mean, that's my own point of view. I feel like that's something that we all deserve and we all need right now. And of course, there's a lot of arts funding that goes out into the country that the Americans for the Arts are in charge of. And that is going out to nonprofit institutions, for-profit institutions, museums, libraries, art galleries, theaters, symphonies, ballet, anything you can imagine. So this is it's a really important part of our lives, isn't it? It's an important part of our culture. And these people are dedicated to make sure that artists, arts educators are supported.
Yes, because if a lot of these nonprofits don't get money from the government right now, they're going to disappear forever. If you live in a small town and you have a local theater, you can't survive without ticket sales. So we need the government.
Absolutely. And a lot of these places are going under. And of course, a lot of the ways these places got started, certainly in the nonprofit theater, was government money that seeded them. And then they go out and raise their own money. Of course, we don't depend on our government to give us everything, but it helps us sort of get a leg up. And so right now, a lot of these places are going under. The smaller theaters, the smaller venues, smaller galleries, museums, these places are really in trouble. So we really need our government to step up for us and help us out. This the other thing to say about the about Arts Vote, you can't see it right now, but Shepard Fairey, the amazing artist,
right here.
There it is. Thank you guys. That is the graphic that Shepard donated. He is an activist and an incredibly thoughtful arts advocate, and of course, a great artist. So he created that. And if you join the Arts Action Fund, I think you get access to this graphic. So you could, oh, very good. Oh my gosh, look at you.
We can't do it the whole time, Annette, because we don't have a proper green screen, but this is sort
of. Oops, you disappeared.
That was our fancy tech director back there.
We're trying to make it work. It's not going to quite work this time, but
don't worry.
The artwork's amazing, though.
Hey, listen, a couple of things I want to mention. We're going to have so much information, but for everybody out there listening, we can answer any question tonight. That's our purpose of being here. We want to, of course, encourage you to vote and to register early and to vote early. But we also, voting can be confusing. And there are some people who might be a little bit intimidated, or they're just on the verge and they haven't quite done it. Well, that's why we're here tonight, is to try to really encourage everybody to get over that. And we have someone from Arts Vote who's here, who
Right.
who can tell us all the details. And anybody can write in a question, and
Yeah.
we can answer that question.
Let's pop
So
her in right now, Annette. Do you want to
let's
introduce
do.
her? You want to
Yes.
introduce her?
Her name is Nina Oslo Tuncelli, and she is the guru. She's the master. She's the seer of voter registration across this country. Seriously, I mean, she is like an encyclopedia on these issues. Hi, Nina.
Hi there, Annette. Hi, Jason, Seth.
Hi, Nina.
You know, someone just said, I live in Texas. When you get a driver's license, you're automatically registered to vote. Is that true?
It can be true. A lot of people register to vote through their DMV. That's something that we've advocated for many, many years. Here's the difference, though. When's the last time you checked on the accuracy of your voter registration?
Right.
A lot of times, especially this year when people are going to be doing absentee ballots, they registered when they were 18 and they're now 50, and their signature looks a lot different than when they were 18.
Right.
And if it doesn't match, it gets rejected.
That's a really important point. And in some states, if you haven't registered or re-registered in a few years, you get kicked off the rolls.
Wow.
That's a
So
big
how do I
problem.
find out? How do I find out if I'm still registered?
Yeah, so James, can you pull up the website to show them we've created one pagers. It's just one page, 4 easy steps to make sure
Okay.
your vote gets counted this year. You're going to be able to find it on artsactionfund.org/artsvote. When James pulls it up, there are these 2 easy steps. If you take the pledge, that's where you're going to get access to all the Shepherd Ferry artwork. But let's go to learning your state voter information, step 2.
Okay, there it is.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go down to Texas.
Okay.
Because Texas is my home state. It's also Todrick Hall's home state, and it's where the comment came from. So I'm going to scroll down.
Todrick is coming.
So it's
Go ahead and
really
click on it
it's
one more
very
time.
thorough. Here we go. So I'm clicking on that, and I'm scrolling down, and it basically, go ahead, Nina.
It's right there in front of you, all with clicks away. So the first step is for those who are already registered or might think that they're registered. You want to first check on the accuracy of your current registration. And if you can believe it, it's all online. So when you click there, you're going to go directly to the Texas Board of Elections, and you're going to be able to put in your information about checking whether you're registered or not.
Right.
And if you're not registered, you're going to go to the next link where you can register online and on time, online right there.
Yeah.
It's that easy. And the thing is that it's customized for every state. So you're not doing a lot of Google searches. We are literally guiding you on what you need to do and when you need to do it by in order to make your vote count. Because
This is the gold standard of this, because Nina has actually corrected other places, like, am I correct, the New York Times,
yeah,
who had some errors on their, voting registration sort of links. And Nina went in and said, you're wrong. Let me correct you, which she then did. So this is important, because otherwise it can be kind of confusing.
Okay, so wait, before we go to Ben Folds, for our SiriusXM listeners, because this airs in SiriusXM, what's the website where all that information is?
it's scrolling right there underneath everyone on the screen, artsactionfund.org/artsvote.
Perfect. All right, Nina, we're going to look for questions, and we will bring you back when we see some questions. Be prepared. We might just pop you on at any moment to answer a
I'm
question.
here.
Okay.
Thank you, Nina.
Annette, before we bring on Ben and you introduce Ben, I heard there was a rumor that you were going to maybe sing a Broadway tune or
Yeah, I
something.
can't believe this is
What?
happening. Yes,
I didn't know that.
nice try.
You know what? One thing I've thought about recently is my chorus teacher from 8th grade. We all had our great teachers, right? I mean, those of us that do arts advocacy, that's what we love talking about, is our teachers and the difference that they made in our lives. So Mrs. Killian, she had a rather large bust. She had a bosom. Do you remember that word, the bosom? And she would sort of march around the chorus room. She also taught us about the great composers. but she taught us a song that some of you out there might know, maybe you guys even know it, which is all of the states in alphabetical order. And I actually know that song.
OMG.
Do you need Seth to play like something on the piano to get you going?
Alabama, Alaska, Arizona, Arkansas, California, Colorado, Connecticut, Delaware, Florida, Georgia, Hawaii, Idaho, Illinois, Indiana, Iowa, Kansas, Kentucky, Louisiana, Maine, Maryland, Massachusetts, Michigan, Minnesota, Mississippi, Missouri, Montana, Nebraska, Nevada, New Hampshire, New Jersey, New Mexico, New York, North Carolina, North Dakota, Ohio, Oklahoma, Oregon, Pennsylvania, Rhode Island, South Carolina, South Dakota, Tennessee, Texas, Utah, Vermont, Virginia, Washington, West Virginia, Wisconsin, Wyoming. That's it.
I'm so impressed. Annette Bening.
Amazing.
That was amazing.
Yeah, we sang that because in 1972, the POWs were released from Vietnam, and I grew up in San Diego, and one of the girls in my class, her dad was a Vietnam POW, and we had an assembly at our school for this hero, and we sang that song.
Oh, wow. And you still remember it.
Well, I did have to review it a little bit.
But was that your audition song for American Beauty?
It was not.
Okay. Just want to ask.
All right, Annette, can you introduce our next guest all the way from Australia?
Okay, so our next guest is Ben Folds. I mean, how honored are we? Ben, by the way, can I just say one other thing? Because I just want to thank all of the people that are coming on the show personally from my heart, because they're examples of what great artists do. And they set a standard for all of us with their integrity, with the clarity of their minds, with the size of their hearts, with how much they respect their own work and the work of others. And I just want to thank everybody that came on the show. It means so much. Ben is chairman of Arts Vote. He is the man. Wow. He does so much arts advocacy and has for a long time. There's a podcast that Ben has done that's on this website if you want to go in and listen to him interviewing interesting people and politicians. He is a musician, a producer, a composer, and he also somehow, in the midst of all of this, is the first artistic advisor to the National Symphony Orchestra. I mean, how is that possible?
Fancy.
And he's joining us right now, as you said, from Australia. Bring him on, Ben Folds.
Yay! Ben Folds in Australia.
Good to be here. Thanks, Annette.
Pleasure.
Good to see you, Seth and James.
What city are you in? Wait, by the way, thank you, Annette. By the way, someone had one request that you learn the song backwards. So get back to me when you do. See you later.
We'll see you soon, Annette.
Ben, what city are you in Australia?
Sydney.
Oh, I love it there. I did a show there. It's beautiful. And what time is it there, dear?
Oh, wow. It's 10:15 a.m.
In the morning.
Yes, in the morning. Yeah. Light coming through the window and everything.
Yes.
Have you had your flat white yet, love?
My flat white. No, I had my AeroPress. I'm down to hand-to-hand combat here with my coffee.
It's all good. Okay, so we have so much to talk to you about. So I know that you're involved with Americans for the Arts.
Yeah.
I was asking that why is it so important for artists to be voting? Why can't we just be artists and not be part of the political scene?
Well, I mean, artists are important citizens. We're all important citizens with unique perspectives and something unique to add to. If you're mostly into the economy, you need to pay attention to the arts and entertainment, because arts and entertainment are a big part of our economy and GDP. That's why, exactly. That's why policy surrounding arts is very important. And you're mentioning, small venues, for instance, in rural areas that are in danger of closing. Many of them were helped in a big way by the National Endowment for the Arts.
Yeah,
and of course, what that does is not just bring lifeblood to that theater. Next door, there's a coffee shop that pops up.
Exactly.
2 doors down, there's a parking lot that opens up, and people having dinner there. And Stokes will talk about this later, but what on earth would Times Square and the center of Manhattan look like without Broadway? Well, go there.
Well, we
now.
can kind of see it now, Ben.
Yeah.
Whenever you're now. It's pretty empty.
Yeah. And the business is gone, man. Just on a side note, you do have fans here from yesteryear. When Amanda says, when I was in middle school, the first popular single came out from Ben Folds. I wore a t-shirt to school, but nobody knew them yet. And kids kept asking me, who is Ben and why is he folding 5? Just saying. Well, she still has it and it still fits.
She's in a small but proud club.
You have many fans, Mr. Folds 5.
So Ben, before I know you're going to sing, but was there anything with Arts Vote that you wanted to talk about?
Yeah. Well, first of all, you looked at the website with Annette, and it's really comprehensive. It's really easy to go into. What's important about that one is that there are a lot of, probably not enough, but there are a lot of organizations getting us registered. Once you're registered, then you're like, oh, now what? And it's a bit too confusing. I'm here in Australia where it's compulsory voting. And, like a lot of the time that I've been spending on these webinars, trying to help people to know how to vote and get them to register to vote, we wouldn't have to do any of that stuff. I mean, it's a lot of time spent just to try to get people, those of us confused, out to vote. So I would say, if you're in doubt, go to that website, because every single state is represented. I'm terrible with websites, and I love this when you just click right into it. Nina slayed this.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
artactionfund.org.
Yes, and otherwise, I would say do everything you must do soon as possible. If you get up at 6 o'clock in the morning to go vote or register to vote or send your ballot in, however you got to do it, it must happen early. We're in very strange territory, and I don't think we want to take a chance waiting to the last minute.
Right.
Yeah, have a voting plan, as people keep saying.
Yeah, it's crazy.
But register. Today's National Voter Registration Day. Register today. Make sure you're registered. Go to that website right on the bottom to help you register and to make sure you're still registered. And Ben Folds, I heard you're going to sing all the Australian provinces in alphabetical order, but I don't.
Luckily, there aren't as many. I could probably make that up for you pretty quickly. New South Wales, South Australia, Western Australia, Northern Territory, ACT, Bob's your uncle, and Queensland. Tasmania, sorry. Yeah, right. I don't know. You know what? I realized watching Annette do that. I was going to play like this kind of downer, slow waltz song. I think I maybe I'm going to follow her lead and do something faster.
Great.
Okay. Take it away.
Lift it up. I can't wait.
All right. Let's see here. Let me switch my.
Oh, fancy.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. We need that.
Pictures at 11.
Wow.
So
all right.
cool.
Let's get off, Seb.
Okay. Sorry. I'm an idiot. All right. Let's see if this works. This song is about something that adults used to say to me when I was a kid, and they tell you that you're capable of anything, and you think that sounds like a ridiculous thing to say. What is this? It doesn't make much sense. They sing it like a pop song. You're capable of anything, and I'm sure they meant you could be president, or you could just forgive me. But I stopped caring what you think about me. I gave up. We're told we are capable of anything. You don't seem to think that you are capable of anything. and mist. I pour my heart in this mythical holy good guy. I want so bad to be, but I was weak and wrong. And when I owned it all, it only made you righteous. Now you get to blame your life on me, but I stopped caring what you think about me. I gave up. We're told we are capable of anything. You don't seem to think that you are capable of anything. You are capable of anything, but you don't seem to think that we could fly so low or sing so high, that you could ever love again or even try, that you could steal or cheat or kill or lie, but you might.
Holy cow! How is your tendonitis?
It's good. You know what? It's my knee. I messed my knee up over the years, slamming my foot against the floor, which you can't see in this. Ended up with this weird tendonitis on one of my sides of my knee, but my hands, they're pretty good.
That's hilarious. That's a specific injury. Well, anyway, thank you so much, man. It was so great to meet you. Thank you for being here.
Thank you. I'll tune in for the rest of it. Thanks for having me, and thanks for what you're doing.
Good morning.
That's right. Have a good rest of your morning. All right, everyone. We are going to bring out
a great star.
Yes, we love this woman, Alfre Woodard.
Yes, Alfre.
Hi. I don't have a song.
Yeah, but Alfre, you have the best lighting design I've ever seen in my life. What is happening? Never seen more stunning.
This is happening in my dining room. Downstairs is a dungeon because I've got a lot of foliage and all. So you wouldn't see me if I didn't have these lights on. Right when the pandemic hit, I've been in the house now 7.5 months, but I rang a friend of mine, the cinematographer, Robin Melhuish. I said, nobody can see me. What am I going to do? And so he said, get this light, put it right there. Of course, I did it myself. I've been my own grip and gaffer and everything else.
That's right.
Oh my God, what is his email address? Talk to me privately. Okay, James, go away.
So Alfre, I know
you guys look good.
Well, we're a little bit blurry. You would think after 200 episodes, Alfre, we would be looking a little bit better, but we're working on it.
We're trying.
You're drinking so much.
Oh, you picked up on that? You can smell it from there? Get back to me.
That's why you're blurry.
So, Alfre, I know that you have to go soon, and we could be talking for half an hour. So I'm going to let you lead this. Why did you say yes when Annette Bening reached out to you?
I said yes anytime Annette Bening asked me anything. She is an actor's breath, first of all. And second of all, she is really hilarious. And I also traveled to Tehran with her back when the Film Academy sent us there to meet with the Iranian Film Academy. And we had our hijabs and we traveled in an area that some people back then thought was dangerous to do, but she's my cut buddy, so yeah, I jumped in, and she's always standing for the right thing. So yeah.
So Alfre, what talk to us a little bit about your Well, I know you wanted to talk about something that's really important that has a deadline coming up. So let's take care of business first, because that's really important. The census.
Okay. Yeah, I wanted
Yes.
to talk about the census. I know everybody listening to you guys because y'all are so woke and on it. I know you guys have probably answered the census, but unfortunately, only 65% of American households have. And it happens once every 10 years. People haven't been able to concentrate because we have so much on our hearts and our realities right now. And we tend to get frozen, but we got to bust out about this. This is like your neighbor's house being on fire and you don't go knock on the door or throw their doors open. We have 8 days left and there's a $1.5 trillion that's meant to be allocated across all American communities. So anybody that's been in the country since April 2020 should be counted. No matter who you are, there's no citizenship question, no smoke coming to your door. Count the babies, everybody, because last time over $160 billion in funds for children was left wanting. And that money goes to other places where, you know, fat cats go. We're over here, they get counted, the money goes there. But people don't realize it sounds far off and disconnected, the census, but what it is, it determines where the hospitals are. We saw with COVID, people having to go 3 hours for a clinic or a hospital. It determines where the schools are, why some of them look like they're pre-war and others look like it's a spaceship. It determines everything from the roads, bus routes, housing, all of those things are determined. This is the most important thing, guys, to me. Well, because I am a socio-political person, is it determines how many representatives you have in the national legislature and in the state legislature. So if you want to ever be heard or want representation, you gotta stand up and go, oh, I'm over here. All it does is count who you are and where you are, and that's where the funds go. Now, a lot of communities are historically undercounted, and they're undercounted for a reason. That's Black, Brown, Indigenous, Asian Americans, Pacific Islanders, rural voters, rural communities are undercounted. The LGBTQ communities are undercounted. Young people, you know, please, young people, you got a lot coming to you and you're going to need it. And people will say, like my daughter, I don't like the government knowing where I am. If you have a cell phone, they already know more about you than the census asks. So just right. Step up. But the reason people have a reason for being hesitant about saying I'm here to the government, because all of those communities have not had, let's say, generous relationships with the government in the past, but it is in the past. The thing is, it's secure. No one in the hundreds of years of census has ever been able to access somebody's information. And if they did, it would cost them trillions and trillions of dollars, so it's not even worth it. But if you don't say I'm here, nobody will know you're there. And the places that need it most, those communities are the ones that aren't counted. So right now, I know all of you guys have been, but you need to reach out to people you don't know. Step out of your comfort zone and just say, because you're bringing good news. Hey, did you do the census? It takes 7 minutes, literally. You go online, my2020census.gov, and you just go right down there. One per household. So I love the people so much, the American people, and I just want so much for them, and we deserve so much. So that's why I brought that up. And, you know, I am an actor and an activist. I should say activist first, because I was an activist before I was an actor. Wow. I started walking precinct. That's the old fashioned way of saying getting out the vote when I was 10 years old in Tulsa, Oklahoma. And I haven't missed an election since, not even the ones about which way the water is going to go down the reservoir. So, you know, I'm stepping up in this one because we're on our knees, y'all. We're on our knees, but we're getting 1 foot up. You know how you get that 1 foot up, one knee bent, and you can just raise up. That's what I know you guys are going to do now. I know you're going to check your registration. You're going to vote. You're going to get, let me tell you got to get it in on time. I said I was from Tulsa. Let me tell my people in Tulsa, y'all got to get registered by the 5th of October. That's when it closes in Oklahoma. Now, if you want to do an absentee ballot in Oklahoma, Not only do you have hoops to jump through, they have lit these hoops on fire. You have to send a copy of your driver's license with it, and you have to get your ballot signed in the presence of a notary. So plan it if you're in Oklahoma and you want absentee. Otherwise, get that registration in by October 5th. Now, a lot of people think I'm from, as my Texas mama would say, Louisiana, but I am not. They claim me because I work there so much. But you guys in Louisiana, not you guys, because I'm in California now. Y'all in Louisiana.
Y'all. I'm from Texas, Alfred. Y'all.
Y'all, you have until the 14th of October if you're doing it online, which is the easiest way. Okay, Louisiana, 14th of October. If you're going to mail it in, you have to have it postmarked by the 6th of October. So make a plan. And if you don't do it at all, you guys will not be able to stand up and be the heroes that say, I'm standing for health justice. I'm standing for economic justice, for sexual, racial, for environmental justice, that thing we otherwise know as the common good. However you see that expressed in your ballot with the people that are on there, stand for the common good. Go up and down that ballot. When I say up, it's because the local races are the things that determine your everyday life. And it's the grassroots that really anchor the whole tree. Yes, get all the way up that ballot, but make sure you start at the bottom of that ballot.
Wow, first of all,
Alfred
so well.
Woodard.
I mean, I'm loving everything you're saying. I'm so inspired. Even though I'm registered, I want to register again because I'm like, so excited about what you're saying. For those of people listening on SiriusXM, the census is 2020census.gov. And like it says, it takes like 7 minutes max, right?
Yeah, and if you got folk out in the rural areas, do you know over 40% of the country does not have access to broadband? That should be a human right in this day and age.
At this point,
So call them up. If you don't have internet, you can call a number. I don't have it on me right now, but folks that are, you know who needs to be counted. Make sure those people know. Rural people, they're just closing clinics and hospitals in the rural areas daily. So we got to step up for each other. This is the time. I'm going to tell you, we have it in our hands. We got the power. Raise your hands up, fellas. Let me see your hands. Now, I want you to just close your hands around this moment and let people know they got the power, literally, to restore this country, to stand it back up, and to make it what we all have hoped it could be. All right. So I will see y'all on the other side of this.
That's
We will
right.
be building back better.
All right.
Yay,
Bye,
Alfred Woodard.
Alfred.
Thank you.
I love y'all.
Love you. Bye.
God, that was so inspirational. I'm
Oh
in
my
the best
gosh.
mood.
Yes. Okay. So I know we got a lot of Todrick Hall fans
We have
here.
Todrick Hall coming. We
Storm
have
Reed.
Storm Reed is coming. We
Javier
have
Munoz.
Javier Munoz from Hamilton. We have BB Newirth. We have so many amazing stars coming. But first, we have to do a serious medical break. We do this every show. We have the chief medical correspondent. That's what we're doing.
That's yes, sir.
We have the chief medical correspondent from CBS, Dr. John LaPook, to give some updates.
But it's also, we're going to bring on Annette Benning and Nina. So it's a little segment here, Seth. So I'm going to bring on Dr. John LaPook, the chief medical correspondent of CBS News, and stars in the house.
Hey guys.
Okay, Dr. LaPook.
So handsome.
But we're going to bring on Annette Benning right now, and we're going to bring on Nina. We're going to bring back Nina.
Hi, Annette. Nina.
Hi there.
Hi, doctor.
Hi, how are you?
Great. Thanks so much for being on our show today.
Oh, I'm happy to be here, and this is obviously such a great cause. I mean, I know we're pressed for time here, so I thought I would just jump in with advice. It's voting day, and it's between now and voting day. What do you have to think about to try to keep yourself safe? And the first thing I want to just say is we got to think about the poll workers. I mean, a lot of those people are elderly. They're afraid. They're the vulnerable groups. And I think we should be giving them much more attention than what I see that they're getting. I think they should get medical masks. I think that there should be at the polling places attention to maybe shields there. I think they should be tested beforehand and they should be tested after, remembering the 2 to 14 day incubation period, because they're the people who are going to be on the front lines. You should think of them as medical workers. It's not enough to just test them, as Seth and James can tell you, the next day, because remember that it's a 2 to 14 day incubation period. So if they're exposed on voting day, It could be anywhere up to 2 weeks when they start to get symptoms. And the same thing for people who are going to vote. That if they, first of all, on the day of the voting, what do you got to do? Wear your mask. We know from this astounding story, this one incident in Missouri, in May, of the 2 hairdressers who had COVID for a week. They saw 139 clients. They were wearing masks. The clients were wearing masks, so by 98% of them. The number of people who came down with COVID was zero. The masks work. So wear the masks, stay 6 feet from other people. Don't shake hands. I know there's a natural tendency to do that. Don't do it. Jazz hands. You guys are Broadway. Cover your cough. Wash your hands afterwards, obviously. Minimize your time indoors. And one of the ways to do that is look at the ballot beforehand. This shouldn't be like when you're looking over a menu, what am I going to have? Look at the menu beforehand. Know exactly what you're going to do on the day of voting and go bam, 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 out of there. You want to minimize that time. You also, I'm told that you can somehow look for what the measures that a voting place is taking beforehand. I don't know that you would do anything about that, but it's been encouraged to have them in tents, to be outdoors if possible. Outdoors is a lot safer than indoors. If you do go into a polling place, we know now about this data about aerosols, that indoors is a lot less safe than outdoors, and ventilation is key. So if you're in a place and the doors are closed, tell them to open the doors, open the windows. It actually makes a huge difference. Obviously, between now and then, the more we lower the amount of the incidence of coronavirus in the country, the safer it's going to be for people on election day. That's hard for all of us to do. If you have symptoms, do not go on the day. If you're feeling sick, please don't go in. And then obviously, this goes without saying, this is the school of duh. If you can somehow vote beforehand, whether either it's early voting, you've heard all about it, or by ballot, obviously that's the safest thing to do. But if you can't do that, I do believe from the deepest part of my heart that we all can safely vote if we do it in person. And you wear a mask. Wear 2 masks. Three layers is safer than 2. If you get that 3rd layer on, that's what I feel.
Annette, Nina, any follow-ups?
Yeah, are you married? Because I'm married, but I want to marry you. Is that wrong?
We get it.
Annette, you actually do know my father-in-law, who is Norman Lear.
Of course. Of course I do.
He
We should have had Norman on.
He
Norman. Of course, Norman's everywhere, but he's
been on. We love him.
Norman might be irritated if we followed through on that plan. but I know we're both ecstatically, happily married, so that's a very simple say.
One thing that we can also emphasize with all of your incredibly helpful, specific information is that November 3rd, think of it this way, it's the last day to vote. Most of us, we can vote. The voting has begun. We're in the middle of the voting period now. Many states, they're already voting. So think of it like now. Many places, you can just go ahead and vote now. And the last choice is to go on the day, respecting all of Dr. LaPoup's advice and going and voting. And of course, if that's what you need to do, that's what you do. But you can also probably vote by mail. Although, as we were discussing and as Alfred brought up, in many states, they're actually asking for a notary.
Right.
We don't do that in California. I vote by mail in California. Although I will admit, I often, not now, but in the past, I hold on to my ballot and then I like to go to the polling place. I just like that feeling. I go in, I put in my ballot, but not this year. We all have to get those ballots early and we just mail them in immediately, right? But actually, Nina has a lot of information about these problems with, like, Kansas. I was born in Kansas, so I have a particular affinity. Kansas is a place where you have to get a mail-in ballot notarized by a notary, and notaries can only do 10 ballots per notary.
Yeah, and I should have corrected that when I told it. It's Kansas City, Missouri, not Kansas City, Kansas. So it's in Missouri.
Well, that's completely different.
But it's still happening. Thank God the NAACP Legal Defense Fund is challenging it in court. But at the moment, if someone wants to take an absentee ballot, they literally have to have a notary go out in COVID times, go find a notary and have them authenticate your signature in front of them. And to add to that, that notary is limited to only notarizing 10 absentee ballots for the entire election.
Okay,
So you're limiting, now you're going to find a situation where you can't find a notary.
this is a nonpartisan effort today, right? Art's vote is nonpartisan. But as a partisan, I can say I find that very disturbing. And I think that's what we call voter suppression, right? I mean, let's get real.
Yeah.
By the way, another plug. There's a new documentary called All In. And if anybody wants to really understand the history of voting, it's a great show to watch. Is there anything else, Dr. LaPook, that we haven't covered in terms of the health issues that we should?
You know, I just think we all know logically that the fewer people you're in contact with, the better. So if you want to split that difference, like you're a little bit wondering, is my mailed-in ballot going to really reach there? It's going to be counted, but I'm a little worried about voting day. If you can vote early, then that's great. If you're in a place that does that, it should be fewer people. But also, don't be afraid when you walk in there. If you see something, say something. If you see people without a mask, if you see that people are too close to each other, if you see that there are windows that could be opened and they're not open, say something. This is an important day to not sit on your hands and cover your mouth. Wear the mask, but speak up.
And let me just add two important pieces of information. 45 states and the District of Columbia are allowing absentee balloting this year. And the only 5 states that aren't, in case you're in these states, are Indiana, Louisiana, Mississippi, South Carolina, and Texas. You have to go in person in those states. And then separately, for early voting that you just brought up, 45 states, different though, 45 states have early voting this year. And the only 5 that don't are Alabama, Connecticut, New Hampshire, New Jersey, and Oregon. And Oregon, just because everything is done by mail.
Wow.
I wish it was consistent. All right. Thank you, Dr. LaPook. Thank you, Annette. Thank you, Nina.
Thank you.
We'll see all y'all soon.
Thank you.
All right. We have our Todrick Hall about to enter our universe. James and I have been a fan of Todrick ever since he did our big concert for social justice a couple years ago, raising money for NAACP and so many other amazing organizations.
Yes.
He's got it going on. Please welcome the man himself, Mr. Todrick Hall.
Hello, how are you?
Hi, Todrick.
Oh my God! Look, I wore a shirt in honor of you, and you're just as glittery. Mine is fashionista.
Hold on, I'll widen it.
Look how glittery you are. Shake it, don't break it.
It's so good to see you both.
A, it's great to see you. B, you're from Texas, like James. Do you remember? Did you vote down in Texas, or were you too young when you left?
Well, I left Texas pretty much immediately after high school, but I had to vote absentee for Barack Obama, and I've never been in Texas actually when I voted, which is so unfortunate. I wish I could go to Texas just to vote.
You know, there are a lot of young people watching because you have so many young fans, and today's National Voter Registration Day. Do you think your young fans should register to vote, or should they just peace out?
I totally understand what it feels like to be a small person in Texas and feel like your vote is insignificant and it doesn't matter. But the thing is, the people who I believe are on the wrong side of history have trained and groomed their team and their side to not feel like their vote doesn't matter. And we need everybody who thinks that everyone's vote matters so much, especially anybody who would be watching this show. Your vote matters so much. I can't express to you how much it means. And I think they should definitely register to vote.
Wow, so well spoken. Now, everyone watching right now, on the bottom, you can find out how to vote, how to register, artsactionfund.org/artsvote. It goes state by state. It's super, super helpful.
And now, Seth, I know you have a couple of videos here, but before, since Todrick and I are both from Texas, this is from Action Arts Fund. So, Todrick, do you still have family in Texas?
I do. Most of my family is still in Texas.
So you may want to relay this. So for anyone living in Texas, our home state, The date to register to vote is coming up. It's October 5th.
And after that,
and if you don't meet that deadline, you're out of luck. You get no chance to vote. It's like coming up really soon. So it's October 5th.
Awesome. So all you Texans out there, October 5th, I'm going to be tweeting this and putting this information everywhere I can.
You're so great, Todrick. So 2 things. James never heard this story. Would you just tell a little bit about your amazing audition for your first Broadway show? I feel you told it on my radio show and I was obsessed with it. Wasn't it Color Purple and you danced and sassafras?
Oh my gosh, yeah, it was The Color Purple. So I was actually on a cruise ship when I found out about the Color Purple auditions. I found out because my mom would send me tapes of Oprah every week. I found out Fantasia was in The Color Purple, and then I went on Actors Equity and saw that there was an audition. So I quit the cruise ship with hopes that I was going to be able to go to New York and audition. Got home and we didn't have any money, and so I called my dad. And I was like, Dad, they took all my money because I abandoned my cruise ship contract early. I really need you to help me go to New York because I want to audition for The Color Purple because A, I want to be on Broadway, B, I love The Color Purple, and C, my favorite person from American Idol, Fantasia Barrino, is starring in The Color Purple. And my dad and I didn't have a good relationship. We have since reconciled it, but he was just like, absolutely not. I don't support the dancing. I don't support the theater thing. Don't ever call me and ask me for anything. My mom went into the room, had a fight with him. It was like one of those Viola Davis moments. She argued with him on the phone and she came back out with like snot running down her nose and was like, pack your bags, you go into that audition. And so I flew to that to New York. I got the call back and I went to go see the show. The night after I got the call back, and I just was so mesmerized by it. I'd never seen a cast of all African-American people in any show I'd ever seen on stage. It made me so proud to be African-American. And the next day I went in, did my callback, and I got the show. And 2 weeks later, I made my Broadway debut.
Wow.
It's such an inspiring, amazing story. How did you have that drive to quit a job just for an audition you might not even have?
Well, I wasn't cut out for cruise ships. I have to just be honest. So it didn't take very much to motivate me to not be on a cruise ship. It just wasn't for me. I just didn't think that I fit into that world. I'm too much of a busybody, and the whole monotonous like nature of a cruise ship just didn't work with my specific DNA set. But I just had a lot of faith in myself, and I honestly am so happy that I never lived in New York and realized how difficult it was to make Broadway. I think my like blind naivety with the situation helped me just go into it. And a lot of times I think that people don't lack the talent; they just lack the confidence to show the talent that they do have in the room, so that they can get the job. And in that moment, I felt very comfortable, and I don't know that I was braver then than I am now. I probably would tank that audition if I had to do it now. But in that moment, I said, I have nothing to lose. I flew here just for this, so let's do it.
Yeah, a lot of people tell me that ignorance is bliss. When you're young, you don't realize the importance of what you're doing.
Yeah.
So this clip I want to show, first of all, it's your first version. I'm obsessed with the lyric that you literally put in New Phone Who Dis in a lyric. It's so hilarious. This video, here it is. It is so hilarious. Here we go.
Nails, hair, hips, heels, face done, lips real, purse full, big bills. Yes, I'm a big deal. Legs, face, eyes, thin waist, thick thighs. You, me, you wish. New phone, who dis.
Funny. So what inspired you, first of all, to write that song and then to write the brilliant parody for our COVID times?
You know, I just wanted to do something. I honestly was inspired by Bob Fosse. I was watching so many things of Bob Fosse, and I was one of my first professional jobs after doing The Color Purple was the Radio City Christmas Spectacular. And I was like, I would like to do something that was like my own, like urbanized version of men Rockettes dancing together in unison. And that's what inspired me to write that song. I was like, I want to make something that, I remember when I was first getting to go to the gay clubs, the song Get Me Bodied by Beyonce was huge. And it had like a whole like line dance that you had to do all the things that Beyonce said. And I was like, we should have one of those for the gay club. And so that's what I chose to make. And those were the 3 things that inspired me: Bob Fosse, the Radio City Rockettes, and Beyonce's Get Me Bodied. And then lo and behold, you have Nails, Hair, Hips, Heels.
It's so good. And then when COVID hit, how did you suddenly go, oh my God, I need to recreate this about COVID?
Well, they asked me to do something for Stonewall Gives Back, and I knew that was the most viral thing that I had. But of course, being the extra person that I am, I was like, how can I make this specific for this performance? And people started posting it, and it started going viral online. So then I said I should write an entire album out of just quarantine themed things. And so, yeah, but I didn't expect for it to go viral again. I thought it would be a cute little thing that I would do for one number, but it actually ended up getting millions of views again.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my God, everybody
It's
watch.
brilliant.
Watch the amazing filming, the staging, the thising, the thatting.
You see, what you gonna let them see? My mask, gloves, soap, scrubs, mask, gloves, soap, scrubs, mask, gloves, soap, scrubs, mask, gloves, soap, scrubs.
My mask, gloves, soap, scrubs, mask, gloves, soap, scrubs, mask, gloves, soap, scrubs, mask, gloves, soap, scrubs.
No school, gym closed. Don't touch these clothes. Need food. This blows. Line at Trader Joe's. At
So specific.
You know, boredom is a beautiful thing. So
You are one creative mother effer. Okay, I'm so impressed by
Thank you, Todrick, for
Thank
dropping
you
by.
so much, and thank you for letting us be in your YouTube channel. You have so many fans who have been waiting for you this whole time. So thank you for showing up.
oh, thank you to my fans. Please don't just watch the show. Please go out and vote, and please encourage your friends and family to go out and vote too. This is one of the most important of elections of our lifetime, and I really, really, really hope that you all go do yourselves a favor and vote.
Yay,
Absolutely.
Thank you so much. You'll be back.
Love you. Bye.
What a great song, man.
All right. Our next
dude.
guest is a movie star at the age of 17, basically.
Yeah, 12 Years a Slave, Wrinkle in Time, and I have to make the joke that time has given me lots of wrinkles. Why? Anyway,
Well,
please-
not as blurry as our camera is right now, Seth. You don't have to worry about
No,
it.
I've never had better skin. Keep it this blurry. Please welcome Ms. Storm Reed.
Hello.
Hi, Storm.
Hi, guys.
Hi, Storm. We look the same age because we're so blurry right now, but if you saw the real us, it would not work for you.
Actually, you guys aren't blurry on my end, so you guys look amazing.
First of all, you're so nice. Second of all, I'm obsessed with the first name Storm. I grew up obsessed with natural disasters. Why is your first name Storm? How did it happen?
I don't know the full story, but I think it was my mom thinking about she's having a baby and the combination of her and my dad, and was like, oh my gosh, we made a storm. Thankfully, it was a great storm, a good storm. So I like my name too.
Storms are necessary for the crops. So are you even old enough to vote yet? I feel like you're not. Are you?
Not. I just missed the cutoff. I'm 17. I'm sick about it. I don't wish I was older, but at this moment in time, I wish I was 18. But that's why I'm doing this work, to encourage my peers and my friends and my family, and even the people who support me, who are my age or who are 18, to vote. Because like Todrick said, this is one of the most important elections of our time, and our lives are depending on it. So I'm just trying to get the word out there.
And Storm, are you from Georgia originally?
Yes, I am from Atlanta, Georgia.
Atlanta, Georgia.
Hot Atlanta.
That's right.
Hot Atlanta, that's what they call it.
So what can you tell us about what's going on in Georgia right now as far as the voting?
Yes, there is. I feel like voting is very difficult in Georgia. There is a lot of voter suppression that goes on in Georgia. Unfortunately, I know that it goes on all around the United States, but I think even the local elections that I was watching closely, it was really difficult for people to vote, which is unfortunate. But then also, the deadline for voter registration is October 5th, Monday. So please, all my Georgia people make sure that you're registered, because if you're not, then you might lose your chance to vote, and we need every vote. Every vote counts, and it's important.
Are we going to talk about Poll Hero?
Yeah, Storm, we were talking earlier about Poll Hero Project. So how about, do you mind staying on for a second while we bring Leo on?
Yes,
okay. So appropriate.
Okay, 1, 2, 3, Leo. Hi, Leo.
Hi, how are you guys?
Good.
So this is for young people watching. Leo, people like Storm that are 17, how can they get involved in this democratic process with Poll Hero?
Yeah, so there are a lot of people out there who, like Storm and like me too, are too young to vote.
Mm-hmm.
But what you can do in a lot of states is actually work the polls. So I know a lot of people have talked tonight about voting. And obviously I'm very pro-voting, pro-voter registration. But every time somebody votes in person, at least, there has to be somebody on the other end.
Right.
And most of the time, those people, I did this last March. I was working with 5 75-year-olds, which it's fun. It's good to be with elderly people sometimes. But right now, this is not a great time for them. We heard Dr. LaPook talk about this. Not a great time for them to be out there. So our goal is really to ensure that the young generation steps up, especially people under 18, because this is just a great way to contribute to democracy, and there's a great need. In cities like Milwaukee, we've seen only 5 of 180 polling locations open. And what that means is really long lines for people. And if you work an hourly job, you're not able to make that. And we see this, it really disproportionately affects poor and communities of color as well.
It's basically like a form of voter suppression by making it so difficult to vote. So you guys have solved that. You can listen, people watching right now that are in good health, you can go to pollhero.org, and it's literally a job. You're not just helping democracy, you can make money. Am I right?
Absolutely. Yeah. In most places, you can make more than $100 for one day of work. So not only are you helping democracy, but you're getting paid.
It's pollhero.org. Storm, are we going to see you at the polls now, like in some sassy 12 Years a Slave show jacket?
I mean, you might. I mean, I think it's so important that young people get out there, especially in times like this, where the people who are usually volunteering or are working at the polls, they're at risk. So if young people, like, we're not going to school, everything's virtual, we're not like at parties, we're not with our friends. So if we just can take a couple of hours out of our day to go volunteer and go help people, I'm all for it. So you might catch me at a poll. You never know.
Wouldn't that be cool to give your ballot to Storm? You go to pollhero.org. Anybody listening, and a lot of times you can be younger than 18 and actually work the polls. It goes state by state, but pollhero.org will tell you what the rules are for your state, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. We walk you through the whole process, what documents you need to get signed. Yep.
All right.
And then, by the way, to keep people involved, we have incentives. Like if you sign up and you stay signed up, we have things like you can win a Zoom call with someone that stars in Hamilton. You can hang out with Miranda Sings. We have a lot of cool things. So it's worth it. I know, Storm. By the way, we're going to hit you up for one. So it's worth it to just sign up, pollhero.org. James, anything else?
No. Well, it's a great segue because our next 2 guests are have a Hamilton connection. So, Leo, thank you very much. Thank you for everything you do. Storm.
Yes.
Thank you.
So nice meeting you. Thank you, Storm.
Thank you. Bye, guys. Thank you. Go vote, everybody.
Yes, vote and register.
And so don't forget, Americans for the Arts, you know, they this is their sister organization, artsactionfund.org/artsvote, and you can get all the information that you need there for voting in your particular state. Seth.
So first we have Alexander Hamilton himself, Mr. Javier Munoz. Hi, Javi.
Hey, what's up, y'all?
It's so great to see you. And then we have soon to be starring in a movie. Anita herself, Ariana DeBose.
Hola.
Hi, everyone.
I'm great.
First, I want to ask you, Ariana, I feel like, did we ever do a talk show together? Maybe, did you Bring It On?
I did Bring It On, but we didn't actually do anything for that. You helped us promote a concert we were doing in DC celebrating Aretha Franklin. And I sang on your radio show. And thankfully it wasn't bad. I was very grateful that my vocal cords were working that day.
You did something. What do you want? So Ariana is about to star in West Side Story. And Javi has been starring as Hamilton for 1,000 quadrillion years. And you guys...
Because nobody does better. Oh, no. See, I opened up a can of worms. Oh, no.
You shouldn't have done it.
Well, there's going to be a can of worms because we're actually going to leave this segment and leave you two at it.
Catch up.
Okay.
Awesome.
So,
We got it. We're gonna, Javi, I love you. I'm so happy to see you.
This is so much fun.
Crazy. Also, they left us alone. I don't know if that's good or not, but we're gonna find out. I was thinking, like, as far as, you know, Hamilton, we're Ham fam. Meow. I don't know about you, but like lyrics from this show that like sort of run through my head every once in a while. Young, Scrappy, and Hungry is getting me right now because that's what we have to be. Young, scrappy, and hungry. Like we need to care about what's going on in the world more so now than ever before. Like they were fighting to create our government, a balanced government of checks and balances, so that all different viewpoints can be actually viewed and considered in the laws that are being made. And I think that's literally what is at stake, the balance that we desperately want and need. That's what we're voting for, right?
The balance is off. Yes, absolutely. And we're feeling it in every level of our existence in this country. We're feeling the wage gap grow further and further apart, right? So you're hitting it right on the head. The lyric that continues to stand out to me is, raise a glass to freedom.
Something they can never take away.
No matter what they tell you.
Ooh. Oh, Seth? I don't know. I think he's singing.
You're muted.
You're muted, but I do. He said, "Raise a glass to freedom."
Yes, that's what I sang in that key. Raise a glass to freedom. I gotta go.
It's true. Come on, Anthony Ramos put his heart and soul into the singing of that lyric.
Absolutely.
No matter what they tell you.
There it is. That's where we are. I literally, in every aspect, I don't know that there's anyone right now who can say that they are unaffected right now, right? They're really, even the most fortunate of us, even the most prosperous amongst us, right? Like everyone is right now, I think, especially under this pandemic,
unprecedented times, unprecedented. We haven't dealt with anything like this since 1918. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. And that's the thing. We haven't lived through this, so this is completely new territory.
Right. So how do we create something great from this? Speaking of which, what's your voting plan? How are you going to do it?
You know what? I double checked on my voting plan.
Awesome.
Today, National Voter Registration Day, because for the first time ever, have to absentee ballot. And it was really, really easy. I actually went to vote.org, and you can also do this on Arts. I'm gonna get it wrong. See, this is terrible. Never make me talk. Artsactionfund.org, and you can literally find the different steps that you need. And for me, I needed to file an absentee ballot application. I'm voting in New York State. So I went through that and I filed my application, but just to be safe, I called my Board of Elections. And I actually needed to fill out a separate form because I happened to be out of the country. I happen to be in Canada.
Okay.
Just like as you do. And they were able to help me get the forms that I needed. So don't be shy about calling to ask for help, because most of the people at the Board of Elections, they may be busy, but those folks want you to vote. They want you to use your voice. So they were very helpful. I'm very grateful to Julie. She did a great job today. What about you? What's your voting plan?
I love that. For me, it was all about safety because of the pandemic, because, right, I have a doubly compromised immune system, right? I'm a cancer survivor. I live with HIV, and every action from just going to the grocery store to I don't know, I have to walk the dog this afternoon, has been, through the worst of it, such anxiety and fear about everything I'm touching, everything I'm breathing. And I know I'm not the only person in this country with a compromised immune system who's thinking the same thing, is how safe am I really to show up on election day? So I too have my absentee ballot. My polling place is literally just across the park from here. So I'm as soon as it arrives, I'm just gonna weigh out my options. Is there enough time to put it in the mail and get it there safely? Or can I vote early and drop it off in person? Or do I feel safe enough to show up on the actual, day? But that's three possible actions I can take with my compromised immune system, so that I don't let this election pass without exercising my right to vote.
It's so important. And as Dr. LaPook said earlier, it's the most important to just know what your plan is. Like, Javi's got a plan, I got a plan, What's your plan? You can make a plan. It's important. See, I'm a mess. It's great. What else are we going to talk about?
Well, I wanted to bring up, like, you know, what are, for you, what's the most important issue for you right now that's giving you the fire to vote this year?
Well, you know, there are many issues. You know, most elections are not one issue elections, or they should not be one issue elections. But this year especially, this is a multi-issue election. You know, with the passing of Ruth Bader Ginsburg, Justice Ginsburg, RIP, you know, women's rights are at stake. Reproductive rights are at stake. LGBTQ rights. We just now in 2015 got the right to legally marry in this country. You know, so there's that. You know, obviously environmental issues, because I would really love to have a safe planet to live on for the foreseeable future. A little thing. You know, so we're dealing with all these different things. Also, you know, I'm very concerned about our arts and cultures community. We desperately need that unemployment package to support our community. Like, I'm very fortunate. I know that you are very fortunate, but there's so many people who are not. And those are the things that are at the forefront of my mind when I'm casting my vote. I want to cast my vote for someone who I believe has the best chance. Number one, there are sirens in the background because it's just that hype. We're that serious about registering to vote. It's intense. But I want to cast my vote for someone who can unite the country. And that's not about choosing a side. That's about finding someone who can best represent all of our citizens, all of our Latinx community, our African American community, like our, you know, our Asian community. Like, it's so important to have all of our values, race, religion, creed, represented. This is not a one issue election. It's a many issue election. And it's about our human rights. Yes. And what was our country founded on? The bedrock of it. We were a place that welcomed all people, no matter what we believed in. That's what I'm voting for. And that will be how I cast my vote for someone who can do that.
I get it. You know everything. You're both amazing.
Yes, my gosh. We're just sitting back like, oh my gosh, these two people are so amazing.
I'm so sorry. We could just have a talk show. You know, maybe we should just do like a side order YouTube something so we can wax poetic.
Oh
you two can come back anytime and guest host. You wouldn't even need a guest. It'd just be the two of you. I'm serious. Come back next week.
Yeah, stay tuned. We're emailing you ASAP. All right, so in conclusion, everybody watching, register to vote. Today is the day to register to vote.
Oh, can I say one more thing? So I'm a native North Carolinian, and I just thought this was really cool, and I wanted everybody to know that for the first time, North Carolina has an online portal. It's never been easier to vote in the state of North Carolina. So literally, the deadline is October 9th. So just go online. Do it right now. It's so easy. Register by October 9th. If you miss it, you still have the opportunity to vote. You just have to register in person for the in-person early voting. And those dates are October 15th through the 31st. So don't miss your chance. North Carolina is a battleground state, and you matter. It matters. Yeah.
Go North Carolina.
Wow.
That's amazing. Every state should do that.
They're stepping up.
Yeah, right?
All right, so Javi and Ariana, you're going to be back guest hosting. Thank you so much for being here. We will see you soon. Bye.
Bye.
So I was saying before, Ariana is going to be Anita in the West Side Story movie. She already filmed it. So speaking of Anita, here is someone who I know. I want to say she was an understudy Anita back in the day. Let me see if I'm correct.
1, 2, 3, BB Newirth.
Am I right, BB? You're muted, BB.
You're Nuts and Seth.
I know. Nuts and Seth.
Yes, I have. I understudied Anita in Europe, a European tour, and I went on once, and it was the opening night of Palermo, Sicily, and we had a wind coming off the coast of Africa that made the deck so slippery. We were on a rig, and it made the deck so slippery that all the guys in the prologue fell. Everybody went down, and we actually had to stop the show, take some Coca-Cola, throw it all over the stage, and then we started again.
Because the Coca-Cola makes it sticky so you don't slip?
Yeah, that's right. And can I be on the show with Ariana and Javier? I'll just sit in the back and I'll
Right?
just like this. And I'll clap for them. I won't say a word. I'll just clap for them. I love them so much.
Phoebe, by the way, you're going to be, someone was telling me last week they're vying, Judy Kuhn is vying to be the person most on Stars in the House, but I think you may be winning. You've been such a regular guest. We're so thankful. We love that you come on.
Well, thanks for having me. Your show tonight is absolutely brilliant. Annette and Nina and you guys, this is magnificent. This is just so great. It's so inspiring. I'm actually taking notes of writing down things. Alfre Woodard, oh my God, she just makes me cry. She's so brilliant. This is like your neighbor's house is on fire, talking about the census. This is like your neighbor's house is on fire and you need to go knock on the doors and open up the doors. That's what it is. It's wonderful work. Everybody's doing such great work. And somebody said, Annette said, think of November 3rd as that's the last day of vote.
I love that.
The last day to vote.
Yeah.
That's a great way to look at it. It's the last day to vote. And just in case you missed Alfre Woodard, we all said that you had got to do the census. You're running out of time. It is 2020census.gov. Bibi Newirth, do you remember the first time you ever got to vote?
Yeah, I think it was back in the 70s. Did I vote for Jimmy Carter? No. I mean, I did, but I was 18 in 1977, so I just missed the 1976. Like Storm, brilliant Storm, I too missed that election. I just barely missed it, so I had to wait another 3 years. Can I say something? Something is occurring to me. I'm hearing all these register by this date, or it needs to be mailed by this date, and so on like that. I don't know about you guys. I think this is true for you. For me, during this last 6 months of this pandemic, time has turned into like a lava lamp. It's like, I don't know. It's a long day. It's a short day. Is it tomorrow? It's tomorrow. And so time, it's like, oh, okay, I have until October 6th to register. Well, that's really soon.
Yeah, it
and
is.
I think because our sense of time is so messed up right now, really open up your calendars, look at them and say, okay, I have this much time to do this. I'm going to do it now. Or you'd be like my husband who calls himself the 1 minute manager. Something comes across his desk, he does it. It's like 1 minute manager. I did it.
So smart.
Oh my God, can he marry me? I would love that in my house.
No. You and Annette, polygamists.
100%.
Bibi, before we bring on Brian Stokes Mitchell, anything else you want to add? Thanks. Yeah, go.
Just vote. Vote. And the young folks, if you can't vote, that pollhero.org, do that. I saw, I guess it was last week, Seth, you had someone saying there's like 20,000 people signed up. Well, that's a big number, but it's a fraction of the number of people needed. And it's a fantastic way to become involved and help people, because it's really, if you don't put on a mask, there's people who don't wear masks. Ugh. And that's something we can do. Believe the science. The science says you wear a mask and you'll be safer. So you wear a mask and you go to the polling place, but it's still very, very scary. A lot of the places will be indoors. So we really need to protect our poll workers, and we need to protect the process. So I encourage young people to come out and, vote in the morning and then go work as a poll worker, or just vote. But vote all the way up and down the ballots, because as Alfre Woodard was saying earlier, it's a lot of those people all the way down. I mean, obviously vote at the top of the ballot, but vote for your sheriff also, because they get voted in. And a lot of times people say, but this sheriff, they're crazy and they're doing this stuff. Well, you could vote. You could have, you could help have it be the person that you want. That's all. Up and down. And
point.
Yeah.
All right, BB. We love you. Thank
BB.
you.
So great having you. See you very soon.
See you soon.
Okay, yes. Yes, it will be soon. Okay. I feel like BB's on once a week. I love it.
I know. Well, speaking of Actors Fund Glitterati.
And another frequent guest of Stars in the House.
Yes.
Please welcome Brian Stokes Mitchell.
Hey guys, how are you?
Oh, that yellow looks so good on you. For my SiriusXM listeners out there, Brian Stokes Mitchell is wearing a beautiful yellow shirt. It's stunning.
Very dapper.
Yes. And look, see my pocket square? New discovery.
It's a mask.
Double. Huh, how about that? See, there we go. New hint. Learn something new every day, right?
Pocket square, that's a mask. I love it.
Yeah. Or mask that's a pocket square. I'm not sure which is which. Hey, you guys, this has been such an amazing show. I am so happy to be on this, and thank you so much. First, I want to say thanks to Julie for her birthday and the great birthday gift she gave to the Actors Fund of $1,200. Thanks to you guys for 200 plus shows now, more than $500,000 that you've raised as well. Thank you so much for that. And thanks for doing this show for Americans for the Arts, too. It's another organization that I love so much. I'm on the board of Americans for the Arts as well. And I do a lot of stuff with them, and I just love them. I'm on the Arts Fund, the Arts Committee as well, and we've just been. It's so much fun working with them. I'm really excited, especially, and if there's one takeaway from this show that I hope everybody does, it's that they go to the Arts Action Fund. It is so incredibly easy to figure out what you need to do. Everybody's been so confused. I downloaded my New York sheet for what I have to do, and I did one for Allison as well. It makes it so easy. You click on the state, it's just incredible, and I'm really grateful for you guys for covering this, because this is just such an important part about being an American. This is like one of our main responsibilities here. This is what makes our country incredible and great and wonderful, and just what it is, and gives us all hope always for the future, because we can change things if we need to, or keep them the same if we want them. That's what this time of year is about.
Stokes, I know we're running late, but I also know that Allison, is your wife, is from Wisconsin. So in that, talk about a battleground state. What's the info you have about Wisconsin?
The rules.
You know what? I see now. I didn't do my homework on that, and I should have.
I think we did. So
did you? Because you know what? And I meant to do that too. I knew I was forgetting something. Allison is actually not here right now. She went out on vacation now, so she left me. So she's having a great time with her friends. But here's the thing. If you want to know, if you're from Wisconsin, go on the site and check the state. You're going to see it all there right in front of you. Everything that you need to know about Wisconsin, how to vote, when you need to vote, when you need to register, how you need to do your absentee ballot. It literally has all the information, and not just Wisconsin, but every state in the union and the territories as well.
Okay, I know you're going to sing, and we want you to sing. Here, I'm gonna fill it in for you real fast, because it's right in front of me.
Thank you for.
Because every state is different, So here we go. I'm going to read the script. In my wife's home state of Wisconsin.
Wait a second. Where did you get this script? Why didn't I get this script?
The last day to be able to register online is October 14th. After that, it's actually great. You can do it in person anytime from October 15th to November 3rd. That's great. Not every state can do that, as we heard about Texas.
However, I would say this does show how crazy it is. There's not just a general national voting. First of all, you should just be able to register on the day that you vote, and it should be consistent. It's crazy that every single state has different dates, different processes. It literally makes no sense. It's a national election, but that's just my annoyance. Love, Seth.
But thanks to Nina, and thanks to everybody at Americans for the Arts and the Arts Action Fund. And Nina, I love you so much. You've put together something so brilliant. You've made it so simple for all of us to vote. And I can't say enough for just go to that site. If you're at all confused, at all intimidated, just go to that site, and it'll solve all your problems for you. You'll be able to sleep through the night and go, oh, okay, now I got my head back again, or at least part of it.
Yeah, go state by state and post it, guys. Even if you're registered to vote, post in your social media so other people can go, I'm
Right.
confused, now I know. That's
Absolutely.
the beauty of social media. All right, Stokes, what are you going to lay on us? I heard Act 1 of Ragtime.
Hey, no, not that's the next show I'm doing. But not this one. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to sing a song. There's so many things to talk about, with the census going on. I'm so happy that Alfred talked about that as well. I've been doing stuff for that, and I have a thing that I just started called a 60-second census that I'm going to be doing every single day. That's going to have different facts of it, and I have to talk really fast, so I usually do it after like 20 lattes. But there's so many things, that are just so important to our country right now. There's a song that I discovered that actually Steve Sondheim sent me one day to sing for a benefit. And I wasn't able to do the benefit, but I fell in love with the song. It's a song that was cut from Assassins, actually. And when I read the song and the lyrics to the song, I thought, if somebody had asked Steve Sondheim to write a patriotic song for our country, for what we're going through right now, this is the song that I think he would write. And it's incredible because it's full of hope. It's full of what the thing that all of us Americans have in common. It's that hope for the ideal that our forefathers, who were imperfect as we all are, put into this Constitution to make this a better place for all of us to live. So that's what this song is about, and it's called Flag Song.
All right, take it away.
Starting it again. You can gripe all you like, you can sneer, where are the heroes? You can shout about how everything's a lie. Then that flag goes by. You can snipe at the greed, at the need to be a winner, at the hype we keep hearing from on high. And you think, why try? And you wanna cry. Then that flag goes by, and you think that's why. That's the best idea. That's a really good idea. What you wanna do is brag. I'm part of that. Yeah, I know it's just a flag. Okay, but still, for a minute you say, hey, we will fix everything tomorrow. For a minute you're aware, you're feeling proud, and then suddenly you're staring at the crowd, and you're thinking there's no link. I can see they're as different from me as they possibly could be. Then you see the idea. And you know it's a dream, and you know it isn't perfect, and at times it may seem to go awry. Then that flag goes by, and no matter how you sigh, it's the bright blue sky. It's just ma and apple pie. There's this thing you can't deny. This idea that it's fixable tomorrow. There's a chance, there's a choice. We can change ourselves tomorrow. We're in charge, we've a voice, an idea about tomorrow to remember when the flag has gone by.
I get it. You're amazing. Oh my God. BJ Axe did it best. Go Stokes.
Thank you, Stokes. That was incredibly beautiful. Thank you. What a great song. I've heard you sing that somewhere else, but that is so beautiful, and thank you for singing it. It's really moving.
My pleasure, Annette. Thanks for putting this all together and just making this happen. And thanks for your love of your country and your fellow Americans and just everything that you're doing. This activism is I'm so happy to see everybody that's been on this show, and
Yes.
you're just leading the charge. And thank you.
you know, it's interesting to me, and I know Seth and James, you see this all the time, but the great performers, we had a lot of performers on today, they're all humble. They're humble people. And I think that's usually the trait of the great actors, singers, and performers is humility and intelligence. And you saw how articulate and thoughtful and joyous, you know, and how it's our jobs to take what's in our hearts and to try to communicate it. So I just want to thank everybody for being on the show and for agreeing to participate. And as Stokes said, thank you to Nina and to everybody at the Arts Action Fund and at American for the Arts. So if anybody does feel in the mood to donate, that's who you donate to tonight. And what else, guys? Just thank you. And thank you to Seth and James. Like Stokes said, you guys have done so much since COVID. You have really, you've raised hundreds of thousands of dollars for the Actors Fund. The Actors Fund is for everybody in entertainment, just to remind everyone. In fact, right now, they have a special portal, I guess you could call it, for people who've been affected by the fires on the West Coast. So Seth and James, your work and your enthusiasm and your passion, what you've done has made such a difference. Thank you. And thanks for having us on today to support Americans for the Arts and Arts Vote.
Absolutely.
Wow, thank you so much,
Thank you,
Nina.
Annette.
Thanks for all that meticulous work on the website, state by state. That it's so great to have a clearinghouse of how to register, how to vote, how to have everything in one site.
And like we had with Black Theater United at the beginning of each show, and what was that, July? We're going to have from beginning tomorrow till November 3rd. We're going to have information that Nina's giving us so that we can update people on registration deadlines, early voting times that it starts and it ends, and we're going to give updates at the beginning of each show. Thank you, Nina.
Sure.
What a night. All right, I'm going to do the closing credits. I got to play something.
And we have to go celebrate Julie's birthday.
Oh, how
She's been
great.
patiently
Happy
waiting and
birthday,
watching.
Julie.
All right. Thanks, everyone.
Bye, guys.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Man, you're upstaging me. I don't remember it.